What's going on, party people? Captain Zeus here, and I'm back with another Star Wars news update for you guys. It's been a minute. I've said this in the last two news videos, but you know, life has happened. But I got some recent news that I want to go ahead and discuss with you guys and listen and hear about your thoughts on it. So like and subscribe for more news videos like these, and hope you guys enjoy these type of contents that we got for you. Now, moviesweb.com has dropped an article about some interesting information. James Mangolds Star Wars movie about the origins of the first Jedi is set 25,000 years before the Skywalker saga. He was quoted saying, "I'm not interested in being handcuffed by so much lore at this point that it's almost immovable, and you can't please anybody." I feel like a lot of people are using this out of context in the sense that he doesn't know what he's doing and doesn't respect the Star Wars lore, and I feel like that's not the case. James Mangold is a fantastic director. He's helming some of the best franchises and characters that we've seen and has done in the past. I think what he means is this is not in terms of the actual lore, but in terms of what Disney is doing. There was a report that came out not too long ago where Disney exec, or Lucasfilm specifically execs, are saying that there's a lot of confusion about what's canon and what's not canon behind the scenes at Lucasfilms, as well as the fact that people who are doing the movies are a lot more hindered and restricted than those who are doing the shows, mostly because the ones that are doing the shows are under Dave Filoni's banner in the New Republic era. So him doing this 25,000 years before the Skywalker saga basically gives him freedom to make whatever he wants canon, honoring the lore, hopefully and possibly. I think this huge issue stems from Kathleen Kennedy. Again, those who are the ones writing like the Acolyte and Obi-Wan Kenobi in those shows. Hopefully this movie comes out well and is a fantastic entry in the Star Wars franchise. Lord knows that we need a good Star Wars movie. Dave Filoni is doing his best to carry us with those shows that he's doing in the New Republic era, but you can only do that for so long. Now, for those of you that have missed this, Rory McCannon will reportedly play Bayland Skoll in Ahsoka Season 2, according to the N. Snyder. Most of you will know him as his role in the Game of Thrones as the character the Hound. Now, rest in peace to Ray Stevenson for his portrayal and his passing, of course. He had a fantastic portrayal as Bayland, and I honestly think it's going to be some really hard shoes to fill for Rory. However, I think he'll do a decent job. I was thinking they'd probably just write him off, but considering the story Dave was making, it's probably going to be really hard too. So I hope everyone's not going to give Rory a hard time, because you know, filling anyone's shoes is a difficult thing as is. I'm interested in seeing how his portrayal of Bayland is going to be though. Now, this is some old news that is still sparking some debate to this day. The Acolyte, a show that typically has about 40 minutes an episode, is showing to have more minutes watched than the Skeleton Crew, which is a show that has about 20 minutes per episode. Obviously that's give or take depending on the episode. It could be more, it could be less, but I think this is such a weird thing to bring up, because basically it's just those Acolyte cultists, which is ironic in of itself, who are desperately trying to prove that the Acolyte was a good show, when in all honesty it's not. People who are of the political opinions of the Acolyte even acknowledge that it had some of the worst writing of a Star Wars show or project to date. It's unfair to compare the two when that show has episodes that are twice as long as the episodes of, you know, Skeleton Crew, and Skeleton Crew only just came out too. Acolyte's been out for nearly a year at this point, so I think it's also an unfair comparison. And also, why is this even being compared and brought up in the first place? The only reason this would be is to cause division and to cause debate. They're not going to renew the Acolyte. It was a terrible show and it's already been canceled. It was actually canceled before it was released, but because of how much money they put into it and because of the fact that it was already done, they still released it anyways. Skeleton Crew, on the other hand, is not in that same boat whatsoever. Anyone that likes the Acolyte, I'm sorry, you guys don't have good taste. Like, I'll be completely honest, there were some good things about it. The fight scenes were cool. About 99% of that show was absolute garbage and just terrible writing. Then again, I mean, if you look at the actresses and actors and even the director herself or the showrunner talk about the show and Star Wars lore in interviews, you can tell that they've clearly know nothing about Star Wars lore, but I digress. Now, here's some more news that very little people are excited about. According to the Hollywood Reporter, George Nolfi, who did Ocean's 12, is sent to pen the script for Daisy-released Star Wars film. He's the fourth writer attached to the project, and the movie is set 15 years after Episode 9. Dude, why is this movie still getting made? I'm completely honest. Nobody asked for it. Nobody wants anything to do with her character or any stories pertaining her. And from what we could tell about the director involved, right, maybe it was the previous writer, it's not going to be something that most Star Wars fans are going to enjoy either. Now, it's cool that the guy that's doing Ocean's 12 is set to pen the script for it. I I just don't think that's going to change anything. No disrespect to Daisy Ridley for portraying the character. It's not her fault that she was given scripts that were absolutely Kathleen Kennedy induced and terrible, but just why? I don't know why this is even getting made. It's mind-boggling that their focus is on projects that no one asked for. Meanwhile, the success of the Disney Plus New Republic era shows seems to have no effect on them. I don't know, but what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on these recent developments in the Star Wars universe. I'm Captain Zeus. I will catch you guys later. See you.